Hi everyone, I hope everyone had a great Christmas, great New Year and great holiday. I went up to the Sunshine Coast here in Australia. I was there for 2 weeks and I spent all day, every day in the pool because we've got summer here at the moment. And many of you know that I had more blondish hair, but I've decided, because I was in the pool all the time, my hair turned a little bit greenish, to go back to my kind of natural hair color that I have, which is a dark brown. I've already colored my hair once when I was up the coast. Few foils are still showing through. Because it was so blonde, I need to kind of put at least 2 colors on to make the color stick onto my hair. Also, excuse my look, I know I look like shit, but I just got up and I just couldn't be bothered putting makeup on when I show you how to do your hair, and I've got to wash it anyway. I thought I want to go back to a really nice dark brown, which I had a while ago. About a year ago I was really dark brown, like a dark chocolate brown, and I got this hair piece which looks black on camera, but it's not. It's actually really nice dark chocolate brown. This is the color. Now you can see it properly. So it has a little bit of a red reflect to it, but any chocolate brown has a little bit of red in it. And as you can see, it's still a little bit darker than what I did up the Sunshine Coast. So I need to put another semi-permanent color on. I don't use any permanent colors because it'll just wreck my hair. I don't need to cover any grays, so semi-permanent color is just fine. A semi-permanent color you can use when you want to go darker, or when you want to stay pretty much the same shade but want to add a little bit of a different reflect, like a purple or more of a red reflect or something like that. So I want to be able to wear this again, which goes underneath. This is the hairdo from the Jessica Simpson one, I think. So it's quite long and my hair is not long, and that's why I want to be able to wear this underneath again and make my hair nice and long. So this is what I'm going to do now. With the semi-permanent color, I need to shampoo my hair, make it nice and clean. I don't use any conditioner, and I'll towel dry my hair, and I'll be right back. What I want to tell you first is, if you want to color your hair professionally with professional hair colors and not just the packaged hair coloring that you can get at the pharmacy or Walmart or wherever, it's important that you have the right tools. One important thing is obviously that you have the colors and the developer, which come usually in a bottle, and also to have scales to measure up how many grams you need or how many mils. I also recommend, if you dye your hair dark on a regular basis, to get something like a protection treatment that you can apply around your hairline, and you can also put this in the color so the color doesn't stain your scalp or your hairline, which is really great. Of course you want to have gloves as well, because this color stains like hell. Combs, clips, normal, a mixing bowl, and you probably want to invest in one of those brushes as well. What I personally have, as well as a cape to protect my skin, but if you don't want to get one, you can just use a big towel and put it around your shoulders, just in case there's any dripping of the colour. And that's pretty much it, really. I'm going to tell you what colours I'm going to use. For those people who know Wella, I'm going to use Wella, and this is the semi-permanent colours, and I'm going to use 4407, which is a natural dark brown. But as I said before, I want to add a little bit of red, so they have colours that are called Mix and More, and these colours are highly concentrated, highly pigmented, so I'm only going to put a tiny smidge of that in. This is 045, which is a pure bright red, because this colour by itself doesn't have any red in it. And I will tell you about the mixing ratio as well. I'm going to use 1.9% from Color Touch, the developer. This is an emulsion to basically develop the colour. And I'm going to use my scales. I will probably have to use about 40 grams of colour. One tube contains 60 grams of colour, but always try to use less in the beginning. You can always add more colour if you wanted to. Okay, so I'm going to do now is put 40 grams of this colour and just measure it. Now I'm going to put a tiny smidge of the red in it, which will help the colour stick better too. Just a little tiny bit, just like that. With Wella colours, the mixing ratio for semi-permanent colours is 1:2. That means you add 1 part of colour and then you double that and add 2 parts of the emulsion. So I'm going to add 80 grams of the emulsion. Once that's done, it's all in the bowl, and I'm going to mix it up with my spatula. This is basically like an oil type consistency, which I'm going to put around my hairline just to prevent it from staining too much, which will make it a lot easier to get rid of your color later. Okay, once that's done, I'm going to add a little bit in the color too. Just drop and mix it up again. This will just prevent the scalp from staining too badly. Now put on your gloves and your cape and we're ready to go. Okay, so this is the salon, the professional way on how to put on your color. It's not just a whack it on and mush it up. No, this has a technique to it and it will cover every single strand and you won't be left with any holes where you haven't put color on. So important is that you're going to section your hair. And what you want to do is do a straight section all the way down and even down here. And once that section is done, you're going to section from this section in the middle down to your ear. So what we've basically got now is a cross on our head, as you can see. And it continues down in the back as well. And I always start with the front sections. So what you want to do is take a little bit of that color and I start with my regrowth and apply that all the way onto those lines. If you don't know if you can do the back by yourself, get a friend to help you because it's hard to see. I usually just feel where I don't have any hair and that's why I apply the color there. Okay, so that's the middle part done and now you're going to move on to the side and you're going to do exactly the same there. I'm going to comb it up. And I'm going to do my hairline. Make sure when you do this you get every single hair in the front. Because I've applied that protection oil in the beginning, I won't have any problems with staining. And what I want to do is I take little triangular sections in the beginning, little ones, and I flip it over and I'm going to apply the same basically regrowth application there. I'm taking the next section and I do the same here. You will notice that your sections are too big, that when you flip it over, I'll just show you quickly, like that, and you don't see any color on here, that means that your sections are too big. So you want to make sure that there's color on everywhere. See how that's shining through a bit more? I reapply that as well. Self-explanatory. Just continue that all the way down. Okay, now the two front sections are finished and now we're moving on to the back. And guess what? We're doing exactly the same, only this time it's reversed. It gets a little bit trickier when you come down to the bottom here. But as I said, if you think it's too complicated for you, just get a friend to help you and apply that color for you. Okay, everything's finished now, and because I've applied a pretty generous amount of my regrowth of that color, I'm actually going to now comb everything through. This will make the color spread onto the rest of the hair, and I don't need to apply too much color anymore after this. Only whatever I have left will go onto the mid-lengths and ends. You can also just use your hands now to spread it. And as you can see, there's only like this little bit that still needs some color, and that's why I'm going to apply a little bit more. And this time I just do it quite random because I will be combing through again, and this will actually spread the color on the rest of the hair. So now we've got color everywhere. Every single strand is covered. As you can see, it's all nice and mushy and ugh, I love that feel, I love it. Now you can just twist it and put it up, it will stick by itself. And this color stays on for 20 minutes. I don't need to shampoo this. You can either put like a color saver in or a little bit conditioner, but it doesn't really need any shampoo. Okay, hi everyone, I'm back. This is the finished result. I've straightened it, kind of with a little bit of an inwards twist, and I'm just going to compare this color now. Obviously this is more shiny because it's fake hair, but you can see the depth is the same as this. If you want to see what I look like with this underneath, I'll have another video up. Bye! Little sneak peek.